What's up guys, it's your boy Rabner, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build 3 different types of tree houses in Minecraft with an Acacia treehouse, a jungle treehouse, and a dark oak treehouse. This is the part 2 to the last episode I made where I built a treehouse for the other 3 trees, so make sure you check that out, as well as liking, subscribing, and telling me what you'd like me to build next, because I am open to ideas. Let's get right into it with an Acacia house. Okay guys, so as you can see, this building is pretty interesting. So it mainly uses acacia wood. So as you can see, it's just built on the underside of like the top of the like acacia leaves. So the first thing you do is you put stairs at the corner, made out of the acacia of course, and then underline the rest of it with acacia stairs. Slabs even. No, trapdoors. What a day. Then of course you add fences going 2 blocks down from the stair block, and then you add trapdoors again under those, and then slabs in the spaces in between. So that's pretty interesting, I think. And then, as you can see, I'm now adding the, what's it called, barrier. So it's just acacia trapdoors. I think they look very interesting and pretty cool. So you just put them all around the outside, and then on the inside of them, you put the acacia signs sort of like going into the trapdoor, as that looks very interesting and pretty cool. So in a minute here, we will be beginning to make the second part, which is basically just the same, but way smaller. So here I am putting on the signs. As you can see, they look pretty cool. So now I am adding on the, what's it called? The small area. So as you can see, I'm just adding all of that in, making it look pretty interesting. So yeah, and now we get a close shot of this. So as you can see, it's all just going completely fine. Now I'm doing the underside of that, which is just like some stairs in the center with a trapdoor as well. So that's just to make it look more full and not just flat on the bottom. So yeah, and now I'm just building this area, looking pretty cool. So yeah. So there's just a stair going into the top area from the bottom area, as you can see, so that's pretty cool. So here I am just finishing everything up, I'm pretty sure. On the underside of all the leaves, I've just put the acacia trapdoors, as there's like the gaps in them, just kind of looks like there's leaves above you, kind of like a canopy or something, which just looks pretty nice. So we are coming towards the end of the time lapse, so let's go and have a closer look at this build in single player. Okay guys, so as you can see, we have now built the Acacia treehouse. So as you can see, but it's quite round and I think it looks quite nice. So obviously it's made out of the acacia tree with the 2 bits coming off, and this is the smaller area. So the floor, of course, is just made out of acacia slabs, but unlike the outer corners, it's got acacia trapdoors, which I think look pretty cool. Obviously the barriers are acacia trapdoors, and then the acacia sign, which also looks pretty cool. So that's obviously the smaller area. Then up to the taller area through this staircase, we've pretty much got the same thing. Obviously at the top here, I've covered it up with acacia trapdoors to sort of make it feel less like there's just trees there, but it still kind of looks like a quite nice area, you know, just like a canopy over something. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. And now let's get on to the jungle treehouse. Okay guys, so now we're going on to the jungle treehouse, and the first thing I did was remove all of those annoying vines. They are kind of annoying, but they're especially annoying when, like me, you have the growth rate up to like 2 billion%. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. But now we're starting the first little house. So this is just made up of stripped jungle logs, and the roof is made up of the spruce wood, spruce logs even, and then the inside is of course hay bales. So what the jungle wood does is it goes up 3 blocks, and that's where the spruce stairs go on the edge, and then there's like a 3-block bit in the center, as you saw earlier, so that's pretty interesting. The sort of edge of the roof goes like a stair, and then an upside down one underneath it, and then just slabs going to the center, so that's pretty cool. So now we are building a circular sort of like build on the second highest layer of the house. So now we're making the tallest layer. This one is by far the biggest I've made, mainly due to the huge scale of the jungle tree. So as you can see, it's pretty interesting. So obviously the hay just goes up with a 3-block center, which is pretty cool. Now we should be going on to the largest building in this build, I'm pretty sure, which is the large square like jungle house. So as you can see, it is a very big building. It stretches quite a long way. As you can see, I'm building the edge of the roof now, and what I do is I add another little bit on the front, so that's pretty cool. And now I fill it all in with the hay. And then on the back I add another like bit coming off of it, just to add some more depth. There's another like pillar holding the thing up. So yeah, this is all looking pretty cool, as you can see. Maybe because the hay bale is quite expensive, you could probably replace the roof with just spruce, or maybe some sort of like stone, like what's it called, granite, I believe. That would probably work pretty well, if you obviously don't want to have to mine or like gather all that wheat, which, as you all know, I'm sure is kind of annoying. So now we're building like a back balcony to get up to that higher level just there. So as you can see, we're just sort of like building along. I don't do the whole stair thing, I just put up the balcony like a little bit, and then I just do a ladder going up to that part. As you can see, the ladder connects to the sort of like house down there, and I build a big pillar. So that's all looking pretty cool. And now we can have a closer look at this lower building. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Obviously I've mixed in all of the jungle wood planks in general, and I think they look pretty cool. I will add in some windows in a minute, which is just glass, but you could probably do different types. On the base of the structure, I've just put in some jungle logs to make it look slightly larger, which also look pretty cool. Now I'm adding the ladders and the railings. The railings are made out of just jungle wood trapdoors, so obviously they look pretty cool. So yeah, now I'm just adding in all of those and adding all the windows and just final details like doors and stuff. So yeah, this house is definitely the biggest. I think I mentioned it before, and this will definitely give you tons of room to do like pretty much everything in. You could probably fit an enchanting table in some of these. So yeah, now we're giving just the final touches. So obviously the doors and the windows, and soon you'll just see some of those appearing. So yeah, not really much else to add, to be honest. Obviously just the spruce slabs and stuff. As the balconies, I've made like a circular bit there with the trapdoors. I think soon I'll be going around and you'll be able to see everything. So yeah, I think this is probably one of the better ones. It definitely has a lot more room, and I think it's pretty cool. The sort of like hay definitely fits in with the whole of the outside, and definitely fits in with jungle in general. So we're just finishing up just now, and soon we'll get a large reveal of the house. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is a pretty big build. So it's got quite a few different layers to it. So there's obviously the bottom layer, and then we've got this slightly larger top layer, then like a half higher layer, and then like a half slightly lower layer around. So obviously at the bottom, I've expanded the base of the tree, the trunk, to make it look more like strong and not quite as weak as it normally looks. And there's still all of the vines here because they just grow everywhere and they're the bane of my existence, which is why I try to remove all of them. So when we go up this first ladder, we get to the first building. So as you can see, I've left the trunk of the tree in here just to make it stand out a bit, and we've got a nice view out of this window, and we've got a lot of smaller windows as well as these lanterns. So as you can see, the walls are made out of the stripped jungle wood. I think it looks pretty good, but it's definitely more expensive when you could probably have the jungle planks as a majority and just a few of these. So now we can go on to the next layer. Obviously the roof is made out of hay, and now we're in the first circular style of build. This is the same as it was on the oak one in the other build. So yeah, now this is the largest balcony, I'm pretty sure, or at least one with the best views. So as you can see our other build over there, and there's quite a lot of room. So this is the largest building. So as you can see, you can go in, quite a lot of room again, still with the trunk, and you can go down into the smaller little area here. Now we can go over to this balcony as well. Obviously the barriers are made out of the jungle trapdoors, and this is another nice little balcony. You can sort of see down to the bottom layer, and there's quite a lot of room. You've also got this circular balcony here. What I make this is I put the trapdoor sort of outside this block here, and then I put these ones on the block next to them. So this kind of makes it look circular, even though that wouldn't normally really work. And then next, this is the last room, I'm pretty sure. So as you can see, that also looks pretty cool. So this build is pretty expensive, especially with the hay, but I think it looks pretty cool. What we've also got is obviously these bits built up, these planks, obviously holding up other parts of it. So yeah, I'd say this is a pretty good build. And now, finally, let's get on to the dark oak style. Okay guys, so now we're making a kind of original looking one. It's basically like I just raised up the dark oak tree a little bit, but you don't really need to, and built up the base, the trunk of the tree, and all that does is give you lots of room on the inside to just sort of explore. It gives you quite a bit of room. You could definitely make an underground base with this. For this one, because it's specifically based on the trunk, I've made it out of the wood without the sides of it. So this looks pretty cool. As you can see, it's definitely looks a lot thicker now. Sort of looks, yeah, much thicker in general. Just shows the huge amount of wood that goes into this tree. You could probably mine out some of it and have a lot of area in the middle. So yeah, soon we'll be going around and we'll be able to see what I've been doing with the front. I've just built a little overhang in there, so you know where the entrance to the little house is. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. So yeah, obviously you can see it now, and soon we'll be going inside and underground, kind of. So because I'm on a flat world, all of this is sort of all of this is sort of Goes down to bedrock, the floor of that bit does, so that's pretty cool. Obviously it's a bit dark inside, and I'm just filling all of the walls in with the dark oak wood, if you're wondering why there were holes in the floors and stuff. Oh yeah, so there's the bedrock, and soon you'll be able to see the void, probably. Oh, yep, there you can see just glimpses of it. So very cool. Soon I'll be adding some lanterns just around. So yeah, so that looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much most of the actual tree, but I decided, because it's quite a small build, I'd add a little bit of interior to it. So, as you can see, I've just added some lanterns around, and soon I'll be adding some barrels and crafting tables and cartography tables, I believe, just to make it stand out a little bit more, as for the other ones they're quite a bit bigger, and this one only took me like 7 minutes total, so I wanted to make sure we actually had some stuff into it and a long enough time lapse to get this to an appropriate time. So now we're going to be zooming out of the actual house. As you can see, I've got some shelves here with stuff on them. There's a good view of the grass, my absolute favourite thing in Minecraft. So yeah, now we're zooming out. I'm making the door to the house, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, soon we'll be having a little bit of a closer look at this build. So yeah, see you then. Hey guys, so as you can see, we've now done the dark oak tree. This one's like a little bit different because the actual house is in the base of the tree, which I've obviously expanded, and now the tree is absolutely humongous. Also, outside of the time lapse, I've added some more leaves, sort of coming off of the top of it. This is just to make it look more like interesting and less flat. So now let's get into the actual treehouse. So as you can see, I've used dark oak just for this roof here, which is a 2-center, very interesting. And for dark oak, obviously just goes along here. I've obviously got the dark oak doors as well, and they just lead down into the trunk of the tree. So on the inside, there's quite a lot of room, which I've carried on with all of the dark oak stuff. I've made like a very basic interior, so as you can see, there's a load of barrels and the tables, everything, composters on these shelves, and I think it looks pretty interesting. We've also got the lanterns just hiding in little nooks and crannies, and yeah. So overall, I think this is a pretty interesting design, definitely a bit different from the other ones I've made. So yeah, anyway, let's get into ranking these trees. Okay guys, it's done. And now I'm going to be ranking them towards each other. So, the first one is, of course, the Acacia build. This build is pretty good. It has a lot of outside space. It's very cheap, resource-wise. Just generally looks pretty nice, pretty relaxing. However, obviously, it's very in the open, and there isn't really much space in it. So I think it's pretty decent, but definitely a bit flawed. The next one is, of course, the jungle tree. This house is absolutely huge with tons of space. Uses a lot of interesting resources and is in a pretty decent biome. However, it is quite expensive to make with all the hay and all the stripped wood. And yeah, a bit high up. Perhaps, obviously that protects you a little bit, but it might be quite dangerous to build, especially with all these hanging off shapes. Next, we have got the dark oak build, and this one is very original and interesting, sort of has a fantasy type of look, which I quite like. Obviously, it's at the base of the tree, so it's easy to access. However, it is obviously could be quite dangerous if a creeper explodes outside, and could also be quite resource intensive depending how much you expand the base of the tree. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like these builds. I think they all look pretty cool. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to tell me in the comments what you'd like me to do next. Also, please like and subscribe as it's really helpful. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!